Okay. All right. Hello, everybody. This is Dan King from Fist Bump Media, and I'd like to welcome you to our Fist Bump Media webinar series on business strategy, with today's topic being 3 simple marketing strategies for small business growth. And I say 3 simple marketing strategies because really these are a few things that should pretty much be no-brainers, really, for any kind of marketing strategy and stuff too, but really all too often when we kind of look at what people are doing online, especially in the digital marketing space for growing their small businesses, that we're really just missing it, right? So this is something that we see, and what we're talking about today is not only things that we see and observe small businesses doing, and we experience with some of our small business clients, but we're going to be talking about some things that we even do today that have really helped us at Fist Bump Media have experienced some really strong growth year over year for several years in a row. And we're really excited about that too, because we continue to see more opportunities to keep growing even more. So we know these strategies work. They're things that we buy into for ourselves, and when we work with our clients and stuff too, and help implement these strategies, we see a lot of success with them with it as well too. So really, I'm going to talk through a few things, and then I'll just kind of summarize what these 3 big ideas are here at the end. But the first thing we'll get into is really talking about being the resource people want, right? And it's not just being a resource that people want. We want to be the resource that people want. And there's a couple of key ideas in here that I think really helped kind of drive this home. And Kim Garst, really phenomenal online marketer and stuff, she has said that in today's age of technology, we have the luxury of getting to know and deciding to trust the person or company behind each purchase. And that's a really fascinating point, because what this statement is saying is turn things around. As a small business owner, don't think about yourself, but necessarily think about the customers on the other end. And when people are making purchasing decisions today, they're really digging deep and connecting with the companies that they want to do business with, the people that they want to do business with. So it's really important to make sure that you're doing these things to build the trust with these people and connect with them on a really important, personal, deep level. Right. So really the first big idea here is when it comes to being the resource that people want, it's important to be relatable and not salesy. I see this a lot in social media where people want to kind of put together a social media plan, and every post that they put on Facebook has got to be the home run sales pitch. And really, honestly, that just does not work, right? A lot of the big goal in the social media and stuff is not necessarily to complete sales. It's to connect with people. And I even see strategically too, a lot of companies and marketers and brands complaining, oh, Facebook changed the algorithm again and made it harder for my content to get in front of people. No, what they did is they changed the algorithm to make it the salesy stuff harder to get in front of people, right? If you're being relatable and you're connecting in developing relationships well on the platform and stuff, your stuff will get in front of people. And that's one of the things when you understand the platforms. Facebook, for example, it's about people. It's not about commercials and sales pitches. So however your brand is on Facebook, you want to be that thing, that resource that people are going to want to connect with. They don't connect with your sales pitch. They connect with you, your personality, who you are, what you're about, what you stand for. So those are the things that really need to be part of your messaging when you're out there. So definitely you want to work on creating ways to connect with people at a deep level. The next piece of this, right, that I think is really important when it comes to being the resource that people want, and I love this quote from Seth Godin, really master marketer. He says the word marketing should mean, what do we call it when we make something people want, right? And this is a huge, really important statement because what he's saying here, and if we can unpack this a little bit too, is marketing isn't about taking my brand and putting it out there and trying to sell all the things. Again, we just talked about being relatable and not salesy, but it's about listening and connecting with your people and stuff and going, I've got something that might be able to fit with this, right? So really one of the big ideas here too, when it comes to looking at your product and how you present your product to people and stuff, it's important to be relevant, not loud. You don't need to shout from the rooftops, hey, we have this awesome widget product, you want to make sure that, oh, hey, I've got a solution for that. And that's how you want to try to present your information and stuff too, right? Is the solution to people's problems, to help, connect with where they're at, not trying to find them to buy your things, right? Be the answer to the part of their story that they're looking to fulfill. And I think if you do those two things, right, the be relational and the be relevant like that, you'll position yourself as being the resource that people want. And this is a really important concept, right, is because getting this mindset of how you're going to communicate is really one of the big ideas here for one of these key strategies that'll kind of really boost your growth for your small business. Is all of your messaging is not about trying to sell, right? Your messaging is about connecting in a deep level, providing answers and solutions for where people are at, not trying to make them believe that their life is missing something if they don't have what you have, right? Find what they need and come alongside them to help be an answer to that. I think when you do those things and you connect at a relational level and you prove your relevance to their needs, you start to become the one answer that people think of when they think, I have a need for this. Boom, I'm going to go to Fist Bump Media, or I'm going to go to whatever your company is. One of the things that I'm really proud of, when I think about how Fist Bump Media works, very rarely do we have people go out, if they're looking to build a new website, go out and get bids from 3 different resources and stuff. A lot of times when I talk to people about websites, they've already made up their mind that they're going to work with us, and it's because we invest very, very much into these ideas of being relational, right, and being relevant to what their needs are and stuff too. So people don't feel like they even have a need to even look around other places. It almost doesn't even matter what we cost, and that's not necessarily a license for me to just charge outrageous amounts of stuff too, because one of the things that I know that people need is a cost-effective solution and stuff too. So I'm listening to that and providing those kinds of solutions. So definitely, as you position yourself in these ways, being relevant and relatable, you'll find that people may not even look anywhere else to get what you offer. Okay. The next big idea, right, and this is, I think, a pretty important piece as well too, and something that a lot of small businesses don't quite really get, right, and I really believe that the greatest asset that you have within your company is your email database, right? It's the list of emails that you have from existing customers, from potential customers, so one of the things we really try to do with Fist Bump Media with our own marketing and stuff is to put a high priority on developing that email list. We use a CRM, a customer relationship management tool called HubSpot, and we'll talk a little bit more about that here in just a second too. But we use that to really, as we collect emails, people register for a webinar, or they download a free ebook, or want to book a consult with us through our website stuff. All of these things, one of the big goals there is to capture that email address at least and get that into our system. From there, I can start working a bit, develop a strategy and stuff too for ongoing communication. We'll take a look at that here in just a second. But even with customers, one of the biggest assets that I have is my email list of existing customers, and I make sure that I have an email strategy to continue to work existing customers, not to try to milk them for every dime I can get out of them and stuff too, but to make sure that I'm staying in contact and communication and connecting with what their needs are. And I can even tell you too that just over the last several months, we've even developed and launched new product lines and stuff, essentially to meet customer needs. The things that we know we can do, but we're not necessarily product offerings and services that we had in the first place. So think about that Seth Godin quote about being relevant, right, and finding out what your customers' needs and meeting that. So we do that by connecting with our people, whether they're existing customers or potential clients and stuff too. But that email list is one of the greatest assets that you're going to have in your digital marketing plans and strategies. So here's a big thing too, and this is from an article posted at HubSpot, right, which is a great CRM. If you're not using a CRM, I definitely suggest using one because it's going to be a great resource for managing your email list, right? Really, essentially, one of the things we do is anything that we collect. Somebody fills out a form on a website, a contact form, or registers for a webinar, or whatever, right? All those emails, all that information comes into the CRM, into HubSpot, and then from there, I can create campaigns and do things to get out and communicate with these people. But they've got a great blog post, and you see the link there, and I'll make sure it's in the show notes and stuff too. But they have a post too that talks about the 12 types of emails that marketers can send. And I'm not gonna. You could read through the list. I'll highlight a few of them here too. But there's things when you think about new content announcements, right? If you have new blog posts that go out, it doesn't always need to be. I'm sending you a blog post. One of the things I think is really important in a good email strategy too is there are some things that I may do. You see, like number 3, like digital magazines and newsletters and stuff. We've gotten really bullish ourselves on doing newsletters. So I'm producing more of a monthly newsletter thing too for existing customers to do things like connect with, find out what's going on, give them updates. You see in here. Event invitations, internal updates, number 8, right? Things that are going on within the company and stuff. Some of those things, I combine a few of these things too as well, right? Those internal updates I put in my newsletters. But new product offerings, right? If we're launching a new product, I want to make, number 2, product updates. I want to make sure I'm communicating those to existing customers as well too, because if I don't tell an existing customer that I have now a solution that might meet a need that they've already been thinking that they have, how are they going to know? Right, so those are important things too, right? One of the things, even though I do some things like newsletter style things, a lot of my approach to how I manage email and communicate with existing customers and potential customers, the leads that come in, is to at least even give the appearance of more of a one-to-one kind of contact thing. And it's one of the biggest strengths of email over all of the other platforms. I put something out on Facebook. It's not a one-to-one communication. It's a one-to-many communication. Email is a one-to-one communication, right? If you fill out a lead form on my website to get some kind of resource, and I send you an email, it's not something I'm sending to everybody. It's something I'm sending to you. You could reply back that and get right back to me. So I try to take a lot of that approach. So even things like new content announcements, right? If I write a new blog post that may seem like it's very relevant to some people on my list. Maybe I have some people who are considering a purchase decision, right? And I have a new blog post that might help them, consider certain factors or how we do things and stuff like that too. I send it like it's a personal email, right? Saying, hey, we've just published a new post on our blog about so and so. I think you might be really interested in this. Click here, check that out. Let me know if you have any questions, right? So definitely, as you think about your email strategy and doing some of these different things, some of them may look like a bigger form. This is going to everybody thing too, but how can you make some of these look even more like a one-to-one kind of communication rather than a one-to-many communication? But definitely, you can do all of these things really at different phases. But one of the big keys is once you have that email in your list, that you continue to work that email over time, right? I even have people too that maybe they've come in as a lead. I've even talked to them about certain services that we offer, maybe give them a price on a website, development project or whatever, and then maybe they decide not to work with us. That does happen sometimes, but even when they decide not to work with us, I still have their email address, right? I can still send them maybe an occasional update, say, hey, again, we just shared a new article on our blog about how to drive more traffic to your website. Well, if they went to somebody else to build the website, that's fine. But now they're still getting that email from me later on saying, how do I drive more traffic? So, that might be something too that I might eventually be able to recover and bring that back in, even though it might be a lost sale initially. Again, that's one of the reasons that email list and that email database that you collect is one of the most valuable pieces that you have, because I've regularly seen where the initial answer I get from somebody might be a no, but then we come back later on and reconvert that person because they're finally clicking and going, yeah, maybe these are the best guys to do some of my work with. Okay, so I had this happen before, but maybe these guys can help me going forward. So definitely don't stop with the emails. But there are a lot of different ways that you can send out different kinds of emails that will help you connect with those potential customers and existing customers, right, along the way. All right. So once you've got them on your email list, and that's really kind of the big idea is how you manage that email list and communicate with them and stuff too. It's really important that you find ways to increase your chances of connecting with them, right? And on the screen here, what you see is this is an example. And this is actually a piece that I have that comes from our HubSpot, right? Where if people want to book a consult, time to talk with me about something, they can hit this link, and I have it on my website. I have it in my emails, all that stuff. And when I'm communicating with somebody, hey, let me know if you want to chat. Click here to book some time with me, right? This is my booking calendar link and stuff too, and this is directly connected to my HubSpot. So even if a brand new lead comes in, they fill it out. It creates the entry for them in my CRM, so I know who that lead is, and I see that they book for whatever time. But for me, this is something that works, right? And you also see too on there is the website chat box bubble. Okay, hey, how can we help you? Right? They pop that open, hit that. They can hit live chat, and it goes to me or one of somebody on my team will communicate back with them in real time and stuff too. And this isn't necessarily the only thing here, but when I'm talking about increasing your chances, the big point that I want to make is that you need to make it really easy for people to connect with you, right? I always heard that one of the most important things in business is to make it easy for people to pay you, right? Because if they have troubles paying you, then you're going to miss out on a lot of sales. Totally agree with that. But I think from a marketing perspective, the single most important thing that you can do with your business is make it easy for people to communicate with you. So if somebody has to go to your website and then navigate to a contact page, to find just a web form there and stuff, not even an email address or a phone number or something like that. And maybe they hear back from you, maybe they don't. Whatever. You're not making it very easy for people to connect with you and communicate with you. One of the things that we do is, man, I send this link out to book some time with me, and I tell people, it's like, hey, grab time with me is always free, right? It doesn't matter if you're a potential lead about to become a customer, hopefully, or even if you're an existing customer. I tell existing clients all the time, grab a link, grab that link, hit that link anytime you want to grab some time with me, to talk with me and stuff too. Now, realistically, that could hit a certain threshold where just too much to try to handle by myself, but that's why we have links too that can grab time with myself or somebody else on my team as well, and any one of us can help and answer questions and stuff too. But it's really important to me that we make that kind of availability happen and make it really easy for people to go, hey, I've got a question, right? Because being available and being able to answer those questions is really going to kind of give you that boost for, these guys are the ones that I want to work with, right? They're always there when I need them. They always answer questions. They're always helpful, right? So you need to make yourself available, make it very easy for them to connect with you no matter what, right? Regardless of what that looks like. But just think about those channels. Think about your digital presence. How easy is it for people to connect with you, especially online? Okay. I'm going to go to one more quote here, and this is from the great 1 Minute Manager author Ken Blanchard, saying, just having satisfied customers isn't good enough anymore. If you really want a booming business, you have to create raving fans. And I love this, right? Because all the things we've been talking about up to this point, right? The whole being relational and being relevant and meeting exactly their needs, keeping those lanes of communication wide open, right? Making it easy for people to connect with you and talk with you and stuff. Those are the kinds of elements that help kind of create those raving fans, right? The people who, it doesn't even matter if somebody else mentions that they know somebody else. You are the one that they're going to want to do business with. That's the kind of thing that creates the situation where when somebody says, hey, do you know a great company to help with my WordPress website? Boom. Yeah, you need to talk with Dan King at Fist Bump Media. You need to talk with Sean at Fist Bump Media, whatever. It's those kinds of raving fans, because that's going to help you develop word of mouth referrals. If you go really crazy and you have an affiliate program stuff, it's going to get your affiliates charged up to send referrals to you so they can make some money off of it and stuff too. Whatever it is, it's those raving fans, it's those customers who are going to come back to you over and over and over and over again, and probably even spend more and more money with you later on down the road as you find ways to continue to meet the needs that they have, that you can fulfill, right? So this is really big, right? Create raving fans, do these things to create raving fans, and that'll help you grow your business. So to kind of sum this up, right? When we talk about these three simple marketing strategies for small business growth, here they are, right? Is to be the resource that people want, right? Be relatable and be relevant. The more you can do that, the more that you are the front of mind when these people think about have a need that needs to be met. Number two, leverage that email list in various ways. It's your greatest asset that you have. Find ways to continue to build and get yourself in front of these people on a regular basis. And it's not just in one phase while they're coming in initially and maybe they're a new lead and you're trying to sell them something. But even when you lose the sale, keep something going for them. Don't spam them like every day and stuff too, but maybe once a month, every other month, whatever, send a little update and say, hey, this is something I thought you might find interesting. Or in existing customers, how do you keep that communication going? Keep leveraging the email to keep yourself in front of all phases of this in order to keep those opportunities and keep that conversation alive, right? And then number 3, make it easy for people to connect with you. Right, probably one of the most important things that you can do. All of this other stuff doesn't even matter. If you send them an email and it's an email that's coming from a do not reply at fistbumpmedia.com, email address, so they can't reply to the email. There's no other way to contact you on there. I'm going to lose that, right? The second that person has a question or a response or wants to do something, I've lost them already because I've made it more difficult for them to connect with me, right? So make sure that those avenues are open, that they're out there, that you're doing everything you can to just kind of create that wide open door for people to kind of flow in and talk with you when they're ready to talk too. So with that, those are 3 things right now that you can kind of take and start implementing within your business, to help shape what your social media communications look like, how you leverage your email communications, things you do with your website and stuff too, to really help kind of improve that communication, that connection with those potential customers. And with that, I just want to say thanks. Anytime if there's anything that we can do to help you, again, you should see it on our website, the chat bubble and stuff, or the book a meeting or something like that too. Like I said, grabbing time with us is always free, so feel free to do that. But thanks, awesome, and have a great, wonderful day. Looking forward to a great year.